This is a great point. On one side, it doesn't force you, but it advises you. Look at the child. I have been giving this example. I am 52 years of age. My age doctors are prominent doctors in the city. I'm from Ahmedabad, Gujarat, right? So my classmates, okay, my age mates, majority of the doctors are from Gujarati medium. हम डफर तो नहीं थे, लेकिन उनके फाउंडेशंस इतने क्लियर हो गए थे when they were explained in the Gujarat in that language, and today they can speak good English. So it is not that we need to worry about that, but yes, like you said, that we are already the back office of the world. I will add, we are going to be the factory of the world. We are going to be the service center of the work. We need to communicate in the language that the world understands. So English will and it'll stay there. Okay, so that's when we talk about this thing. I'm very proud to say that we have recently developed a language to teach a lab to teach Sanskrit, already implemented in 1100 Kendriya Vidyalaya, 474 already done. We're doing it phase by. So what happens is, why do we need these languages? Rightly said, we need to know Indian culture. We need to know the local culture. There's such a lot of knowledge. I'm not talking about just information. Knowledge in those scriptures which we are not reading and Germany is reading.
Yes.
Right? So Sanskrit will not only bring us close to the country, will not only bring in nationalism with Sanskrit or Hindi, but it will let us go and explore that hidden knowledge which is there. If I talk about local language, I will understand the local diversities. There's a lot each part of India can offer. Even if you look at the most fertile land or the desert has its own learning. So that is something you do. Plus, Indians will love to be called Indians.
Yes.
You know, 10 years back when I used to go out to other countries to, give lectures, I was working for Microsoft as a trainer, as a outsourced trainer. People would go far away from us 15 years back. You go and sit in a metro. If there's somebody sitting next to you, you go sit there and they move off. And it used to hurt me. But today, when they go say, they ask, are you from India? And they come and talk to you. So that is, if we start valuing our own country, our own language, we will go where not. So that's important. We should say thank you to the government that you've allowed multiple languages, and let us be grounded to our roots. That's one. Now, coming to the other part, technology. You've all talked about teacher training. Everybody's talking about teacher training because there's a lot to unlearn and learn again for the teachers. But let me tell you one thing. The present, one of the speakers some time back made a statement that we, our current generation, we are technology migrants. हम तो टेक्नोलॉजी की तरफ आए हैं, बट द करंट जनरेशन इज अ टेक्नोलॉजी रेजिडेंट. वो तो जमा ही इस टेक्नोलॉजी में. फॉर देम दिस इज नथिंग न्यू. So we as teachers, we need to work hard because we will never be able to cope up with their progress of technology. Right? How do we help this? How do we work on this? We will have to transform ourselves from being a sage on the stage to a facilitator. Gone are those days that the teacher should know everything. Not required. What the teacher should know, where is everything? You need not remember everything, but you need to know where to find that. So the first and the most important training that we need to give our trainers is how to use technology, how to use tools to get information, filter it, and present it. That is what it is. Nowhere is it said that आपको book खोल के नहीं पढ़ा सकते. Nowhere in the world teachers speak from the mind or for the brain. They refer to things, and that is something which has to come in, because remember, the world is changing faster than we can even think. So that's one thing. So my point to the educationists, to everybody involved in this vertical, is let's train our teachers on IT skills, on simple normal skills. See, they were able to adapt to this pandemic and the online thing. They did it. Nobody complained. Even if they complained, nobody heard them, and they said, okay, this is our system. They did it. So we need to go just one more step and say, here, change the way you teach. We need to bring in flipped classrooms. Understand flipped classrooms is the way towards. NEP 2020 talks about research based learning, right? But before I get onto that, I will have to come back to the English part. What is happening? We have seen that increasingly reading is going down.
Yes.
Bad. It is not good, because when we talk about research, you have a whole plethora of information, but you'll have to read it. When the child doesn't have the habit of reading, how is he going to go and do research? So one important thing I would request you to put into this thing. See to it that children read, read, and read. As a part of our research, when we did this, we were shocked to know that people don't read. And when you don't read, you are not a person who knows what the world wants or what the world is. So we started a digital library for schools where you push the book to the child, उसने वो पढ़नी है, पढ़ के रिकॉर्ड करनी है, रिकॉर्डेड फाइल वापस टीचर के पास आनी है. तो धीरे धीरे बच्चा जब अपनी आवाज सुनता है, his own recording, he will improve, he will love his voice, he will come onto that. So those things. So coming back to this thing is we need to get into flip learning. I'll give you an example. Say suppose today is a class of geography and I'm supposed to talk about volcanoes. What normally I would say, chapter number 9, let's talk about volcanoes, and I talk about whatever I say and I put in my information to them. So what is it? It's a one-side delivery where the students are listening, whether active or passive listening is nothing that we can do. But the term should be that I say tomorrow I'm going to talk about volcanoes. I want each and every child to come with 10 lines on volcanoes and see to it that you have got a unique information. What will happen? The child will go home, Sida will go onto his computer, Google volcanoes, right? But unfortunately, he or she will not get 10 lines. They'll get 10,000 lines. So the whole point is, how do I find out what is relevant? How do I read? How do I research? And then put it. And then the next day when they come to the class, what are they supposed to do? They are supposed to present themselves. So if you have 30 students, each child gets some and presents. So presentation skills. He speaks, communication skills.
Yeah.
He talks about something that he has found out on his own, research skills. So he has learned how to learn on his own. And what happens? 30 of them discuss those 10 points and they come up with 10 unique points. So they learn how to work together in teams. If you do this, they will love to come to the school. This is blended teaching. You work technology, you work, because you cannot say that only technology will teach. No. These schools are there for learning life skills. How do I collaborate? How do I have compassion for my peer groups? How do I love people? How do I find my way out? How do I fight out my rights? So these are the things which will happen if we go on to this flip learning. But again, what I say is we need to train our teachers. And we were also talking about this 50 hours of teacher training. We don't have to worry कि 50 घंटे में टीचर्स को 10 दिन बाहर कैसे भेजूं. बाहर नहीं भेजना. You know, today 5 of us are talking and we are listening to every bit. Had we met in a room, we would not be this attentive. Am I right? So online forums, online training in smaller groups are more effective. Get your teachers trained to how to attend. Go find out who is the best teacher. Let me go into it. You don't have to travel, you don't have to leave the comfort of your home, and you can do it the way you want to do it. So anywhere, if we see, technology is going to make all those things which are difficult to achieve in the NEP, right? इतने सारे टीचर्स को ट्रेन करना, पूरी इंडिया के कोने कोने में पहुंचना, टेक्नोलॉजी पहुंच सकता है, right? One more thing is, you know why this parak is there? It is not only to do that 360-degree. It will keep a track of the child right from all the stages that he has come, that what are his strengths and weaknesses, and it will help the child know which stream he should do. Second, the government will be able to track down whether a child has dropped down. Go talk to them. Why have you dropped down? You have a financial problem. Here are other things. You have this problem. That. So that is what is going to happen. The whole thing is, understand, the world will live on data science. What they're doing is they are going to get data, not to use it for gains, but to understand where is our country going. Suppose they have a policy. How do they know that the policy has been implemented properly? CCE क्या हुआ? सब कुछ हुआ, किसी ने मॉनिटर नहीं किया. इतना डॉक्यूमेंटेशन, हर स्कूल अलग डॉक्यूमेंटेशन करा है, एक कॉमन कंट्रोल में जा रहा है, कहीं पे ये जा रहा है, वो जा रहा है. So what they have to do is they have got people like Infosys or TCS, they are working behind this. So I'm sure the policymakers are smarter than us, but they have given us an insight that yes, this is possible. You do your job, we have done our job, and let's put that on. So these are the things that we need to understand, and technology can help you acquire any kind of skill and knowledge. So with this, I will sum up my point is, please have your teachers form a habit of working on the internet for X number of hours, not minutes, every day. Go find out, because one more thing, I think Kalpana ma'am, you did talk about, are the publishers going to give us what we want? We don't need publishers now. Go the IB way. You will be told, okay, class 5, this is what the child should be able to do. Like in English, we have got can do statements. Agar if a child can do this, this is the level, this is this level. So what all subjects, they will say by the end of this age, this is what a child should be able to do it. So the teachers, the students, and the parents will look at what is. They will be, suggested links at this, but that is what is going to happen. What is the publisher doing? Cut, copy, paste. Some of them, most of them, some are genuine. But what we need to do is, there's so much information, and I would like to access information the way I want it, not the way the teacher wants it, because this whole policy is child centric and not institution centric. So with this, I sum up my this thing. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jitendra sir, for this powerful talk. I believe you covered almost all the areas. The crux was we need to train our teachers. The solution would come from that. So big thanks, Jitendra sir, for sharing and creating a roadmap for all of us. Big thanks. And now with this, we come to the last part of the session, the question part. We have already received many questions, from different educators. I also, invite other participants. If you have any question, you can write in the chat box. We have already received many questions, so I'll start presenting these questions to our key speakers. But before I start presenting these questions, I'll just take a minute and I'll present my screen for a minute. I'll just share details of what exactly we are doing at School Lalaaji Solutions. Some of you are already aware with School Lalaaji. We are India's largest one-stop solution platform for educational institutions. We are currently present in 42 cities, working with around 4,500 institutions. We primarily help educational institutions in 3 ways. We help them in buying right thing from right people at right price. We also help institutions in selling their old stuff, like their old buses, generator, their furniture. Third, we help institutions in raising money, that may be in terms of loans or fee financing. Why a school would need School Lalaaji? You already have your old suppliers, your team is expert, you believe that you're getting good discount, your team is efficient. So why you need a platform like School Lalaaji Solutions? 2 reasons for this. One, in our education ecosystem, we have more than 10,000 educational suppliers. New companies are coming up with wonderful products and services. It's very, very difficult for a school leader, to interact with all those companies. At the same time, it's very difficult for those companies, for those new startups, for those new edtech companies, different service providers, to reach out to all these school leaders to demonstrate their product and service. Here we come into picture. We understand your school, your taste, your actual requirement. We also understand your budgetary limitation. We have category experts who interact with different companies on daily basis. We also talk to their previous clients to certify their credibility, and then we negotiate with them because we have that bulk requirement, and then accordingly we connect you with the right people. These are different areas where we are helping educational institutions: smart classroom, procurement, uniform, insurance, diesel. Yes, we are also supplying diesel to many schools at 0 rupee transportation cost, 75 paisa cheaper than the market price, and in some parts of Delhi NCR. Solar plants we are installing in different schools, language lab, security solutions, furniture, recruitment, music classrooms, healthcare, robotics, stamp scheme labs, career counseling, stationery, digital marketing, IT solutions, educational tour, generators, learning tools, and finance. And we take the guarantee that we'll save at least your 5 to 7%. So it's kind of a 5% additional revenue generation for your institution. Just one example, we saved 2 crore 40 lakh rupees for different schools in one category only, that's bus insurance in 2019. And we are perhaps India's largest school bus insurance partner. Some major development, major highlights. We did 8 megawatt plus solar installation, 3,000 plus bus insurance, 400 plus smart classrooms, 2,000 plus cameras, 350 plus training programs, 56 old buses, uniforming 42 schools. By the end of 2021, we aim to reach out to 10,000 institutions. We need your support, your guidance, your blessings. So here I'll end my talk. So I would invite you now, I would request Kalpana ma'am, if I may present the first question to you. Ma'am, you are on mute.
Yeah.
Right, ma'am. This question.
I think we can all get together and see how we are able to answer the questions. I'll try with the first one. Let's see. we all
Right.
have the same amount of information that we have. Mr. Jaswinder, I would really like to congratulate you for the wonderful talk that you
One
gave.
guy like me who dares to ask questions from principals. So
Thank you.
he start asking question with one condition that you'll all get 100 marks, 100 out of 100. So
We are as much informed as anybody else is. We
Yes.
only have our experience to add on to, what we already have.
absolutely. So first question to Kalpana ma'am. Ma'am, this question has been asked by Dr. Sitha Lakshmi ji. She's the academic director with Ambrose International School, Pune. Lakshmi ji has asked this question. She is looking for more clarity for the first 5 years of schooling, which becomes under the fundamental stage. I'll add 2 more lines to this, Kalpana ma'am. This has, been a very regular question from our viewers. Many people are asking, are we going to have a separate authority from which these nursery schools are going to take certification from? These city-wise nursery school, who they are going to take certification from, number one. Second, are these nursery schools going to start teaching up to class 2nd?
I think it'll be a very automatic. I mean, as I understand, maybe others would have more information on that. But what we are already doing, the nursery schools are still probably training the children in such a way that they are up to the mark when they have to move into mainstream. So it is actually just connecting the preschool, which was earlier separated out. And as Vinita ma'am said, they had their own way of teaching. And sometimes they would fit into the mainstream and sometimes they wouldn't. But having a common syllabi that would come out, probably a common expectation from that level, at least every nursery school would also like to teach in such a manner, or would have the same syllabus to follow which a mainstream school would have, so that automatically if they finish after, let's say, kindergarten school, the child would automatically move into grade 1 in a mainstream school, because there would be no difference in what they are teaching and what a main school would be teaching right from class 1 to grade 1 to grade 12 or whatever. That's how I understand. Mr. Jaswinder, maybe you could throw more light on that.
Ma'am, the point here is that are these preschools going to be equipped with the kind of teaching that we have to do? That is one challenge that I feel. But the other challenge is about their very survival. See, if a main school, they say that a preschool should be at least till 2nd standard, who will give them admission in 3rd standard? So would parents want to go in there? That's one big challenge. Second is all schools. Now I'm talking commercial, beyond the education. All schools will have their own preschools because they would want to have a guarantee of students in class 3. So that is something which is a challenge. But what I think is could be done is that most of these preschools will either become feeding centers to bigger schools, where the bigger school will start with 3. So they will have that, hub and spoke model that, okay, I start from class 3, but 5 of you get me. Because what happens is a preschool child, the mother would, love to have that school within a kilometer of distance. You can't have a school away. So these will do, and they will go on to that. That is one thing. But the other thing is, then we are talking about Bal Bhavans. A lot of these preschools will get converted into Bal Bhavans so that after school they can do those activities, because India now, the generation, both parents have to work. The way that we are living it. So that is what I think. But
It's
preschool
probably
people,
just a shift, if I may intervene, a shift of the creche to probably these preschool centers,
Yes.
which
yeah,
is happening even now to a great extent. A lot of preschools are even taking in 1.5 to
daycare.
2 year daycare kind of thing, where the parents are working and the child is left over there, would learn many more things, plus being taken care of the meals and
So they'll have to become nursing type of, and then hand holding type of, and building in compassion, because there's a lot that
uh,
cannot be done only in the school. So if they turn
talking
towards that,
about, sorry.
yes, ma'am, please.
Talking about feeder school, I think even now these nursery schools are feeder schools for a lot of mainstream schools, because after kindergarten or class 1 or 2, grade 2 that they have, the children have to move to some main school. So even now they are moving. They cannot be.
So we can visualize
So
where
I
these
think the system remains the same. There's nothing really that has changed there.
So what I assess from both of you, Kalpana ma'am and Jaswinder sir, that I see that these main schools would become the certification authority for these nursery schools.
I suppose it, well, if they tie up with some mainstream school even now, there are a lot of preschools which tie up with the nearest main school, and they try to bring in the same teaching method and the syllabus there, so that the children, after their preschooling, move to the main school. So which is happening even now. So I don't think there any certification would be required if the child meets the requirement of a mainstream school is even now taken into the school.
No, but then that question.
What do you say, Vinita ma'am? Let's have
right. So
other people.
I'm coming with the same question for you. I have another question for you. So I'll present both the questions here, and then I would request to if you can share your comments on this first question as well. The second question comes from Ms. Upasana Ghale. Upasana ji is a PGT psychology with the SGRR Public School, Patel Nagar, Dehradun. The question says, Upasana ji has asked, this policy is talking about empowering our students, like start coding classes from 4th class onwards or with other ways. How we are going to make our students more ethical with that enhanced power?
Yeah, see, I'll just pick up the question, Upasana ma'am's question first, that how can we make our students more ethical? See, what I personally feel is that this knowledge, like the knowledge that we are trying to impart to our students, is only making them literate, right? If we are asking our child to use the laptop, or if we are asking our child to use a mobile that we are doing as of now, we have to tell them that what is relevant for them, right? What is important for them to see and what they should not, right? That difference between good and bad have to be taught as a parent and as a teacher, right? Coding and decoding, yes, I was attending one workshop very recently where also this question was there, that is age 3 relevant age? Is it really important for the child to talk about coding and decoding, right? Is that the proper age for us to talk about? But again, the question remains the same, that because we have to adopt this policy, like because we have to get digitalized, we are supposed to use it, right? If we want to move with the world, we have to use it. But then these values cannot be imparted by these machines, right? These values have to be given by us as a parent and as a teacher. And once our child understand that what is right and wrong, they can differentiate, they will definitely be using it more ethically, right? I think I'm correct, like that is my perspective. It must be different for different people. And can I move to the first question with your permission? Yeah, where Sita Lakshmi ma'am have asked about the joining of these schools, like the preschools. Like good evening ma'am, she is my mentor. So the world is really growing small. See, I was just listening to, I was the part of one session conducted by Getty, right? And Mr. Anurag Tripathi, our secretary CBSE, was the part of it, who was talking to us. And he said that this 3+2 education system is something that we'll have to adopt. According to him, it was that these preschools will be the part of the mainstream schools, but it will not happen in a day. Okay, we cannot ask the preschools to stop. Okay, they are connected with the main schools, they are connected with, like as ma'am said, they are the feeders for many big schools, so they will be there. But yes, then central schools ho gaye and other schools, they will have the preschools connected with them. Okay, so that is what the education policy also talks about, that now even the central schools will have the nursery and pre-nursery schools. Okay, so here it is like that we cannot stop with it, but then yes, it depends on the state government that how they accept it, whether they are ready to accept the preschools or they want them to be affiliated, to be connected with the mainstream schools, and then only the decisions can be taken. Because as Jaswinder sir said and Kalpana ma'am said, it is very correct that as a parent I will not be very happy to send my child 3 or 4 kilometers away from my house. Okay, I want him to be very near to my place, and that is where the preschools come in. So we cannot really say no to the preschools, but then yes, they should have a proper designed curriculum, so that when the child is going in standard 1, as an educationist, as a child, as a parent, he don't find him to be lost in the class. That is what I feel. again, you all are here to really comment on that, and we have to wait and watch that.
Right, absolutely. I see that Indu ma'am has lost the connection. Now I would request Jaswinder sir, sir, if I may ask you, I've presented the question in the chat box, sir. The question has been asked by Ms. Jennifer Pepik. She's a TGT English with Manav Bharati India International School. Dehradun. Question says, what are the requirements for a teacher to be able to incorporate NEP policy in her daily teaching? But preparation the teachers need to do so.
See, what I would want to again reiterate is you don't need to prepare for a particular policy. You need to be prepared for teaching as a career. One important thing. Today it's X policy, 10 years down the line it will be Y policy, because things change and we have to keep changing. There was a question earlier that why do we need a policy, new policy? The way you need a new dress, why not a new policy? Because life has changed. Things have changed, things have gone beyond, and policies are there so that everybody in the entire country gets the same thing. Okay, so what I'm again coming back to your question is that teachers need to be prepared for a career. Okay, there is no specific learning, but there's planning that needs to be done. So teachers will need to plan the way they deliver. They will have to plan on shifting from rote learning to actually experiential learning. They will have to do those experiments, and believe me, teachers will have to sit down with the kids at the same level and teach them.
Yes.
You know, Chanakya was a great teacher. You know what he said? Who is a good teacher? A good teacher is a person who lets the student know that I know as much as you know, let's learn together.
Yes.
That is what the teacher, we'll have to change our mindset.
Yes.
We have to stop being a sage on the stage. कि मैंने बोल दिया काफी, अरे ये मैंने क्यों बोला, ये क्यों हुआ, ये कैसे हुआ, चलो करके देखें. So that going together, that is what will change. Nothing else can change. And believe me, teachers will have to start researching. One important thing, I'm going beyond, but let's look at what happened to our teachers and what is happening to current teachers. Our teachers during their time, the teachers who taught most of us, the curriculum used to change every decade, once in a decade, 10 years mein. Okay? Now the curriculum changes every year. Same teacher, same 24 घंटे, same pati, same in-laws, same बच्चे, same घर का काम and पढ़ाना, same 24 hours. How do you expect the teacher to go and acquire new things, to learn new things? Technology. Use the internet. आपको like a Bible, आपको technology को use करना है और keep yourself abreast with what is happening, because today's kid is going to ask you what is happening today or what will happen tomorrow, not what happened 10 years back. They don't want to know that. So we need to work onto that. I think I have shared that point, that they are technology residents. So our teachers will have to only plan to know more or to find out from where to know more, not to remember everything. So that is the change that will come in. Teachers have to be proactive. They'll have to be friends, not sages on these stages.
And we'll have to find interesting ways every day, because the children are getting tired, and monotony seeps in much faster than it did earlier, because they are children who are absolutely technology savvy, and things are moving very fast for them.
Ma'am, they have other things available in a better form.
Yes.
They have things, they have a choice कि मुझे टीचर से सुनना है कि मैं वीडियो देख के कर लूं.
वीडियो देख के करना.
तो हमें वो चीज लो, वीडियो करो, पर आप उसको लाके जो कनेक्टिंग देना है ना, वो आप बच्चों को दे दो. एंड टीचर्स मैम कंपैशन सिखाएंगे तब हम अच्छे बनेंगे. कंप्यूटर्स कैन नॉट टीच यू. सो दैट कोडिंग बोर्डिंग तो होगा. प्यार, कंपैशन, लव, empathy, sympathy, these are the things that the teacher need to bring in.
Yes.
We have to
approachability.
Approachability, they have to be approached.
Yes,
पैंडेमिक में अंडरस्टैंड, बच्चों ने, बच्चों की माओ ने और उनके फादर ने रात को 8 बजे फोन किया ना टीचर को, टीचर ने फोन उठा के जवाब दिया है ना, they do it. So everything was done during the pandemic. That has to be taken to the next level. So that's what I would say, that nothing new to be learned. We have to work a different way, to think a different way, and we have to join them in learning. We can't teach them, because gone are those days. These kids are smarter than us.
Yes.
They know much more than us. So we have to join in the learning rather than teaching them.
Yes.
Thank
Only
you.
connectivity is left with us.
Absolutely. So I see that Indu ma'am is facing some technical issues. She has joined us here. Indu ma'am, do we have your presence? I see that you have joined us back. Your camera and microphone is off.
The camera is not.
Yeah. So Indu ma'am, do we have your presence? So I believe she's facing some technical problems. She's switching on and off. Okay, so I'll check if she joins us. So I'll present a question to her later. Uh, right. So with this, we come to the end of this very, very special session. But before we end the session, I would request our speakers if we can have your concluding remark. And we have established one very interesting practice that while sharing your concluding remark, if you can also suggest or share some innovative thought or some your priority that you would like to implement if you get a chance to become Minister of Education of our country. So what would be your priority? Let's say you become Minister of Education for one day. So I'll request Jaswinder sir, I'll begin with you. If I may ask you your concluding remark and what would be your priority to get a chance to become Minister of Education?
Okay, so talking about the concluding remarks, this NEP 2020 is a huge project. It's a huge change. It's a disruption, a positive one. We need to implement it, but we need not get boggled कि इतना बड़ा हम कैसे करेंगे. We have to take it in piecemeal. Take up a part, implement it, take up the other part, implement it, because somewhere or the other we are doing certain things. They have just formalized it. And they have got this policy by going and visiting and talking to educationists like us. So that can be implemented. We need not get worried about it. We should take it piecemeal and take it to the next level. That's one thing that I talk about. Coming on to the minister part, if I were to be the Union Minister for Education, what would I do? I have my clear thoughts. Let's understand that whatever policy is made, whatever infrastructure is put up, whatever thing we do, this is not going to be a success unless our teachers are there and they do their work properly, right? So teacher training is important, but more important than that is we need to get the right kind of people into this system. We need to have people who are passionate about teaching. We need to have people who would want, by choice, would want to come and join the education fraternity. How do we do that? How do we do that? By first giving them the right kind of pay structure, right? Second, we need to respect them the way the respect that is required. I'll just share with you, just last month, there was a huge thing which happened in one of the Scandinavian countries. The doctors and the lawyers and the engineers are paid less than the teachers there. They all got together, went to the government department, said, why are we paid less than the teachers? Why not at par? We do more work, we put in more hours. So the department said, you cannot be paid as much as teachers because you are common people and teachers are not common people. They are
I
the
agree
people,
with you,
yeah,
sir.
they are the people who are actually developing our country. They are the people who
Yes.
are creating people like you. They are creating or making you ready for this profession. So that is something that they need to work on. That's one. The second part is that how do we do that? So for that, I would want the teachers to be declared as the first class citizens of the country. People who should be respected the most, people who should be taken to the, I mean, we should bow down to them. Pehle hota tha na? So that is important. So what I have done, I think ma'am is not there, the other lady, because I want to show something. Have
No,
you
ma'am,
lost?
she's lost the connection now.
Yeah. So actually, I want to talk about something very important, Vinita ma'am, since you're there. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to bring in recognition and making it a mission. And this is one mission that as an individual, nobody can do it. All of
Very
us have to
true.
get onto that.
All
So
of
what
us.
I'm going to do, ma'am, I'm going to share a screen with you. And I want you that if you can look at this, just let me know if you're able to see the screen.
Yes,
Can you
yes.
see the screen, ma'am?
No, as of now, no, sir. Yes.
Okay,
Now,
okay.
yes,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can see
So
that, sir.
this is what I represent. But what we want to do is we want to bring in recognition to all the educators. You
Right.
see, what is happening is, understand what is happening is that the doctors, right? The doctors are, they write a DR in front of their name. The chartered accountants, they write a CA in front
See
of
in
them.
front of
The
them.
engineers write an ER. Why can't we write an ED in front of our name? So
Very
what
true.
I propose is that we as teachers, we as people from the education fraternity, should let the world know that we are teachers. We come
Yes.
from a very noble profession and
Very
we
true.
should demand the respect. When we
Yes.
are respected, we are bound to do good. We will never do wrong, ma'am. Right?
Very
If
true.
you're
Agree.
identified, so that is
Yes.
what we need to bring in. We need to bring in the right kind of respect for the teachers.
Yes.
That's what we are saying is, if the teachers are respected, if they are paid the way they should be done, I am sure a lot can be done. So what I've done is I've actually taken the liberty of writing this.
Thank you
How
so
about
much.
writing this in front of your name, right? How about
Yes.
asking your teachers to write an ED? We are
Yes.
educationists. Let's be known as educationists. We don't
Yes.
want the government to bring it. We can ourselves bring it. Nobody can say आपने ED क्यों लिखा?
क्यों
मैंने
लिखा?
लिखा क्योंकि मैं teacher हूँ, and I am proud of being a teacher. So I
Yes.
request Vinita ma'am that if
Definitely. I
you could
support
have,
that, sir.
yeah, and your
I
friends,
support.
the other fraternity. Vinita
Yes.
ma'am, I suppose you are from
Delhi.
Pune itself, right?
Yeah, I'm here in
So,
Pune, but
yeah,
basically from Delhi.
ओके. सो मैम अगर जितनों को मिले अगर ये करे, ये कुछ नहीं
हाँ.
है, हमने हमें अपने आप को एक दर्जा देना है. So that is
Yes.
what I would do if I were to be
Yes.
the
Yes.
minister. But
One
we can do it without being
identity
that.
is
Yeah.
required. Very
And
true,
we
sir.
can do it without being a minister. So
Yes.
उसके बिना भी हो जाएगा. So
उसके
that's
बिना
what
भी
we
हो
look at.
जाएगा.
Yeah. So
Yes.
Thank
that's
you,
my request to
sir,
everybody.
for this wonderful thought. We really appreciate your efforts, continuous efforts, in terms of empowering teachers. Big thanks. You have our support. And now I would request Vinita ma'am, if we can have your concluding remark. And what would be your priority if you get a chance to become Minister of Education?
Through this session, no, like it was a wonderful session where we shared our views and we learned a lot. Okay, so NEP is a beautiful policy which is the need of the hour, and it's a beautiful work that you people are doing. So I congratulate you for that, and you are bringing together the views of the educationist and then making a summary, summoning them up and putting to the education minister. That's really wonderful. The education policy is huge. Okay, it is not a day's task to be implemented. We as educationists, you people as intellectual people, it is important for all of us to join the hands together so that we together can work for the upliftment of the country, because that is what the new education policy is looking ahead for. Okay, they want that the children should know about the rich cultural heritage of the country. Okay, they should know, they should develop love and affinity about their country. They should understand that yes, we can get educated, we can get good education being in our own country, not necessary for us to go abroad and then work over there and read and write over there. So that is important for us to understand, and which I personally feel that this new education policy is going to give us. And coming to your next question, that if I'm given the opportunity to be the leader for a day, I 100% support sir, like where he's saying that the teachers should be given due respect. Like we talk, like have you ever seen the teachers going on strike? Like no, we have not. Doctors go on strike, like the bank people, they go on strike. Sorry to take the names of the professions, but I want to be just clear about my thoughts. Like, but we as teachers, we never do that. Okay, we have never said that during the pandemic, like we are not getting the salary, so we are not going to teach the children. No, because we have taken the profession with our passion. We are passionate to teach the children. It is not our profession. Okay, it is something that we are doing from our heart. So why can't the teachers be given good recognition? Why can't they be paid good salaries? Why do they have to struggle? Why don't the government think about it? So that is the only thing I 100% agree with sir over here, that yes, this is a very noble profession. As like see, the teachers, they make doctors and engineers. Like I'm proud to say that today my students are working as IS officers, as doctors, as engineers. I am proud to share that with you. Okay, but then yes, we also have our own identity. So we should also get some recognition, not only by the society but also by the government. We are in this profession only because we have the support from our family and friends. Okay, so a big thanks to them. But then we really want to thank wholeheartedly to the government also. Like please think of this profession also and support them. Only that much. Sir.
Ma'am, Jaswinder ji is from Ahmedabad and he's very close to Modi ji and Amit Shah ji.
Sir, please.
The only thing I
वो
share is
education
Gujarati with them.
में किसी की सुनते तो जसविंदर सर उस लिस्ट में है सबसे पहले.
Rajul ji and ma'am, I only share the language with them. Rest I do not know them. I have worked with Modi ji on a couple of projects. वो मुझे नाम से जानते हैं, लेकिन वो तो हर बंदे को नाम से जानते हैं. So we are proud that we have worked with them, but I'm sure they will do something good for us.
They should. Like I am also positive about it, that yes, when he's thinking, when the government is thinking about everybody, they will definitely think about the teachers also.
राइट। और एक और मैं आपको कमाल की बात बताता हूँ विनीता मैम, जसविंदर सर शायद देश में अकेले ऐसे व्यक्ति हैं जिन्होंने केजरीवाल जी के साथ भी काम किया और मोदी जी के साथ भी काम किया।
तो ड्यूअल सपोर्ट है हमारे को।
मैम केजरीवाल जी के दिल्ली गवर्नमेंट के साथ हमने उनके सारे बच्चों को अंग्रेजी पढ़ाया था ऑन अ प्राइवेट
अच्छा।
दिस थिंग, सो वी वर्क विद 1 million students every year.
Wow,
So
great.
I would want
Yeah,
to
commendable.
connect sometime with
Yes,
you later on,
definitely,
and
sir.
I can do a workship for your teachers for about an hour
I'll
online.
be like
That can
honored,
be
sir.
done. That'll be done.
Honored, sir. Yes.
ठीक है.
Thank you so
चलिए
much.
मैम, thank you so much Raju ji.
Big thanks, Kalpana ma'am, Jaswinder sir, Vinita ma'am, Indu ma'am, for participating and making this 133rd session truly special. I also thank other participants who joined us for the session. Big thanks. We'll end the session here. Thank you, Vinita ma'am, Jaswinder sir. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.